One way to cool a building is with cross ventilation, essentially letting air flow through the building from one side to the other. And you remember that wind can enhance this flow. So air flows and cools by convection. Convection is a heat transfer through fluid movement. Air flows across the space, and as it flows across the space, it picks up heat from the objects inside and carries it out. This is a research and education center in Wisconsin, the Aldo Leopold Center. Here it is. It's a LEED Platinum Center. And let me just pause for a moment. I don't know whether you are familiar with the name Aldo Leopold. He was an ecologist who worked in Wisconsin in the first half of the 20th century. He was very influential in a field called environmental ethics, and he had a profound impact on conservation. So he did work as an ecologist and conservationist and researcher, but he's probably best known for the books that he wrote. One of them you may have heard of is Sand County Almanac. And in the field of environmental ethics, what he did there was to develop an idea called land ethic, the idea that land itself has rights, almost like a person. If you're interested in talking more about Aldo Leopold, let me know. I have his writings. I have people writing about him, and I have very positive feelings about him and would be happy to discuss him. So anyway, this center has been named in his honor, and as you can see, it has windows that allow cross ventilation. It also uses passive solar heating, and you can see it uses solar panels on the roof. Here's that research and education center at Stanford University that you saw last time. Here is its cooling tower with the wetted pads up in top, and that's combined with cross ventilation. I've been in this building and it's quite comfortable even in the summertime. As you recall, air flows because of pressure differences, and wind makes the air flow faster. And the faster the wind blows, the more heat it can pick up and carry out of the building. Well, think about air movement. Air is a fluid, just like water is a fluid, and air flows over objects on the land similar to the way that water flows around rocks in a stream. So think about that flow as you're arranging the openings in your building. This is from the Autodesk Sustainability Workshop, this picture at the bottom, and the very bottom diagram is showing openings opposite each other in the direction of the wind, and you can see that the fluid air flows straight through effectively. The other picture shows openings that are crosswise of the wind. So the wind hits the building, and instead of flowing through the building, turbulence forms. Turbulence forms on the windward side, and then turbulence swirls around inside the building, but we don't get cross ventilation when we don't have our openings arranged the right direction. Here are some other pictures also illustrating the idea of air flowing like a fluid, and showing how if the openings go with the wind, air flows through effectively. If the air hits a solid surface, you get turbulence and not as much airflow. With cross ventilation, it does matter which direction we orient the building. The building shape matters, and of course it greatly matters that we have operable windows. We can help channel the wind, first of all, with trees and other vegetation. And you might want to use a windrose and maybe other local data to find out where the wind flows, especially in the summertime, at your building, and then arrange vegetation so that it can funnel that wind in the direction that you want. We've seen how ventilators on a roof will help pull the wind through, and here at the top of this roof is not a spinning ventilator but just an open static ventilator. And then some designers use wing walls, walls that stick out from the building, as you see on this center, or as you see down in this old-timey black and white photo. Wing walls help direct the wind. These diagrams at the top of the slide are from Charlie Brown's book, Sun, Wind, and Light, from the University of Oregon, and he's showing how wing walls sticking out from a building will affect the airflow. Next, we will go on and look at a cooling method called night flushing.